Toad, Blob, Cyclops, Milestones, and someone's already beaten Dark Dimension 3. What the heck? We're gonna talk all about that and more, guys, in your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. Khasino, tell them what to do.
Let's go flash it.
ValleyFlyin.
What is up, Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, it is time for your Marvel Strike Force weekly news update. As usual, I am joined by my brother, Khasino. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm good.
It has been a very, very interesting week. We got some new characters kit revealed. We got an interesting blog post, and Dark Dimension 3 got released, and it has already been beaten. Oh my goodness. A lot of stuff going on. But before we get into all the news, guys, Khasino, you're playing Raid, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Before we get into this, guys, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Are you tired of childish, cartoonish looking games? Enough with the rainbows and unicorns, guys. Time to get epic and awesome, guys, with Raid Shadow Legends, taking you to a world of dark fantasy and realism. Now, what I like best about Raid is there's always something to do, whether it be an arena battle or a dungeon battle or kicking some butt with your clan, guys. Plus, there's always new stuff getting added to this game. And Raid is one of these convenient games that I like, guys, where you can play it on both your mobile device and on your desktop. And now the much anticipated battle pass is going on. Season 1 is live right now, and you can win some really cool rewards just by fulfilling your daily and weekly challenges. So if you want to check me out in game, guys, my username is ValleyFlyin76. So what are you waiting for, guys? Use the link in the description. And if you're a new player, even better, because they're going to give you a bunch of stuff in your account to start you off on the right foot. 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, and 1 free champion adjudicator. So guys, all this treasure is going to be waiting for you right here, but it's only going to be available for the next 30 days. So good luck, and I'll see you there. All right, so we got this blog post last week. We're definitely going to talk about that. Personally, I was pretty happy with that transparency that they came through. But that coupled with some of the changes that we're seeing in the game, we get these new challenges, new content, previously unfarmable characters now coming farmable. What do you think is going on with this boycott? I have not heard much on the front from the boycotters. I've been hearing the official communications from Fox. What have you been hearing about this official boycott situation?
I mean, the last thing we saw them post was 6 days ago, I believe. Okay. And it was an effort to escalate, basically like, hey, here's how you can send out tweets to certain people and harass them on social media. And I think by that point, almost all community support for it had like dropped off. You know, Foxnex had made a lot of announcements regarding a bunch of planned changes that people were very happy with. So yeah, not only that, but it kind of starkly contrasted the sentiment. Like people were like, oh, actually, you know what? I'm not as upset as I was. I think things are going to be okay. Yeah. And the very last thing that I saw. And again, I don't know if the person who posted it is officially with #FixMSF, but they had it in their thread title, and it said new action called for by them. And they were like, we're more upset than ever, and we need to escalate and show them we're serious. And most people are like, I don't know, I'm kind of happy.
Yeah. And that was all before all this recent changes in the game and this recent blog post came out. So I haven't heard anything since then. So
I have not heard a peep out of them. Now, I didn't expect them to post and be like, all right, we're good now. You know, good work, Foxnex. Thanks for doing boycott with us. Now,
to be fair, I did reach out to some of the people that were heading that up. It was only a few hours ago, but I have not heard back at this time. So I am not sure what's going on with this either. But I like the transparency in this last blog post. I think that was one of the big results from this big person that organized a boycott in previous game, that spent $12 million in a different game. I think the big result of their boycott was more communication from the devs, and I like the transparency. You know, there's a lot of history there, so it's hard to be like, oh yeah, this is exactly how it's gonna be. There's still a little trust that needs to be gained, but personally, I like the direction that I'm seeing everything going right now. Yep. What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I mean, there were 2 major victories for the boycott, nowhere near the ambitions that they had for it. But the 2 things that I think they absolutely accomplished, they definitely forced the devs to communicate more and be more transparent and talk people through what a lot of their upcoming plans are, which is something that I have been nagging them day after day to do. I every time I talk to them, I'm like, this is so much easier if you just tell people what's going on. Yes. Half of their big issues, including that call to action, being upset about the symbiote Spider-Man milestones, even that, just another error in their communication by not letting people know that was going to be a milestone event that returned several times. So I have yelled at them so many times to step up their communication. So the boycott definitely succeeded in getting them to step up their communication. And then I know they were planning a Red Star rework for a while now, and this got them to move it up a little bit in the production schedule. It was on their to-do list, but now they were like, all right, now it seems clear to us that we need to address that before we address other things, which is definitely good. Yeah,
I think they did mention that in a previous blog post about the ISO 8s, that they wanted to fix whatever is going on with all the issues that's going on with Red Stars before they introduce a new mechanic. So I was personally pleased at the previous blog post, and I like the plans. I like the plans that they have.
Little behind the scenes info for you. Right. So I actually had gotten wind a little while back that they were going to be re-examining Red Stars, and so I saw that as an opportunity, right? I'm like, they need to know how bad Red Stars are, and one of the best ways, like, now that they're like, all right, maybe we should take a look at this, like, how do I hammer home unquestionably you definitely need to take another look at Red Stars? So I changed the name of Whale Wars to Don't Buy Red Stars as soon as I heard it.
I saw you race out all those records and everything too.
Oh yeah. That was definitely a plus. I'm not mad about that at all. But anyway, enough about last season. But no, so I changed the name to Don't Buy Red Stars, and I found out after the fact, now that I've done that, I apparently was going to be featured in one of the Strike Time videos. And when so when they went to my channel, one of my videos is called Don't Buy Red Stars, and they're like, oh, we can't put that in there. So then I just got cut.
Oh.
So so apparently, even though I'll go down in history as like Khasino, the guy who defended Red Stars.
Though? You took a stand, and you made your point. That's the important thing.
Hey, if nothing else, I forced whoever was looking at that to be like, we can't feature this in our video. There's a visible protest of Red Stars here. So that's good. I'd like to think I moved the needle a little bit.
I like to think you did as well. Let's move on to our next topic. This might be moving the needle for some people. These Cupid's battlefield milestones, battle milestone, whatever they're called, the milestones for Cyclops, guys. I unlocked them pretty quickly. Getting all these milestones are pretty tough. Are you going for all of these milestones, all those mini uniques in the last few milestones of the orb opening for these Cyclops?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ruby Red Mile. I can't even remember the name of it.
So they're Ruby Heart orbs, I believe. It's Cupid's Battlefield is the milestone event.
Okay, I did write it down correctly. It sounded weird in my head, but thank you for clarifying.
No problem. There's plenty of events I forget. I get down that, but it did not take me long to do all of the Blitz battles with the Valentine's tagged characters.
Yeah, those are usually pretty quick, right?
And I'm on to like the very next milestone I'm going to claim is going to be some mini uniques, and I know a lot of people in my alliance are like on the last one already, and there's like 5 days left. So
that's a lot of blitzing they've been doing. My goodness.
Yeah, they have. But when I recruit, I say, more than total collection power, what I'm looking for are people with no life. That's our biggest requirement. We need you to always be available whenever we need you. So you need to have no life.
Steep requirements, guys. So hey, if you have no life, reach out to Khasino. He could help you look for an alliance.
We don't have any spots right now. We have a crew, 24 hardworking people.
He could put you on the
life.
wait list then if you have no life and you're looking.
If you do have a social life, unfortunately, you're not really what we're looking for at this time. But
quick recruiting message. All right, so there's some people saying these are too many battles. Some people saying these are just about. What are your thoughts? I think I know what your thoughts are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, too many battles for what? Like, it's a work as hard as you want. The thing is, every time Fox 6 puts something out, there's always a group of people who are like, all right, so I'm supposed to be able to do 100% of this no matter when I started this game, no matter how strong I am, no matter how much free time I have, even if I can only play for 30 minutes a day, everything is for me and I'm supposed to get all of it. And I'm supposed to have enough of everything for everything.
Right?
What's this? What? Wait, people can pay to get farther ahead in this? Well, that's BS. This is totally unfair. And look at this. It says that I have to play more than an hour a day. Well, I don't have more than an hour a day. This is BS. So
basically you're saying it's just the right amount?
I mean, I actually didn't do the math on this one, so I don't want to take a hard stance and be like, this is a perfectly calibrated milestone. Maybe it requires a few too many blitz matches. Maybe it could be tougher. But I know free-to-play players who are mostly done with the milestones, so I think if no-life free-to-play players can fully clear it, it's more generous than I've seen in other games. I've seen plenty of other games where the milestones are just, like, absolutely no free-to-play player is getting them all done. Like, all the good rewards are just paywalled in milestones like this in a lot of games. So the fact that these aren't, I like. Free-to-play friendly milestones are the best milestones.
So if you haven't hit those milestones, guys, you just have too much life. But
maybe
not all bad.
I don't want to officially go on record to say that because I haven't done the math on it. I like I said, I know some free-to-play players have gotten it done, but I don't know if they've been literally nonstop blitzing around the clock, because I think that if they're like, I do a rotation every 2 hours without fail every single day, like that's
God bless you. God bless you if you do that.
But I believe it's fine. I would like to actually poll my community and see how many people found it attainable. But
I
think it's all right. It's not a calamity. Even if it's a few too many, it's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. We did get some good news though. Heroes Chapter 7 finally arrived. It is Chapter 7, right? I wrote down 7.
Yes.
I think it's 7. Okay.
Yes.
I'm off. I'm questioning all of my notes here, guys. All right. Heroes Chapter 7 finally arrived. Colossus finally farmable, and Black Widow. It has been so long. Welcome to the farmable group, Black Widow. What are your thoughts on these missions finally coming?
That's good. I'm glad we have more content. I enjoyed doing it, and I actually am more excited about all the superior gear, but I have been farming Colossus every day, so that's good.
Yes. Where's your Colossus up to right now?
Well, he's been 6-star, so I think he's like 140 out of 300, somewhere in there.
And mine is still at 4 stars, dude.
I wailed on the X-Men big time.
I think I was mad. I think I was mad when Colossus's offer came out and I didn't end up buying it. So.
Sometimes you get lucky and the team that you really like happens to also be very good. Like we knew that the X-Men would be pretty good, but I had no idea if like they would immediately get phased out by some other arena team or something.
Oh, yeah.
I just like the X-Men, so I was like, I'm gonna go hard on the X-Men.
What do you think of the difficulty in the new Heroes chapters?
So I like it and I don't. So for where the game is at, it made sense. Like I think it was properly balanced for where most people sitting around asking for new content want it to be. If that makes sense. Like
that makes sense.
But
so
there is
more endgame players that have finished the content. Difficulty perfect for them. Gotcha.
Yes, but there is one weird thing about it. So the campaigns as they were originally when they released, like the hero campaign and the villain campaign were very, very easy. And then Nexus campaign was a little bit tougher. And then Cosmic and Mystic were a little bit tougher than that. But now that officially, as of right this moment, the quote-unquote toughest campaign content is now in Heroes Chapter 7, it creates this really weird gap where the end of Heroes Chapter 6, all the enemies are like 10 to 12k power with blue gear.
Yeah.
And then if you immediately finish that, it's like, cool, now you've unlocked Heroes Chapter 7. And like the very first stage, they're like all 50,000 power, like gear tier 11 enemies or something. And so obviously that doesn't bother me, but I feel like new players are gonna
get
be
confused. Yeah,
they're gonna finish Heroes Chapter 6, walk into Chapter 7 like, what the hell?
So guys, the proper order if you're a newer player to do Heroes Chapter 7 is after you've done all the Mystic stuff, then go to Heroes Chapter 7.
Yeah, it's a huge, it doesn't, there's no, if I were the devs, I'd put in a little warning of like, hey, Heroes Chapter 7.
Don't do this yet. Don't enter.
This is not the Heroes campaign that you've been doing. Maybe come back to this if you're a new player, but.
Yeah. Once you can do Mystic, you should be able to do that in New Heroes. But yeah, it's.
Well,
I get you.
Even Mystic, I know people like beating the final note of the Mystic campaign these days with like a 90k Supernatural team.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that new Supernatural team. I was thinking about my old school team that had to be.
Whereas I think you need at least like somewhere around like a 200k team to even start doing the new Heroes stuff. So. Yeah, it's just a weird progression thing. Like, it's fine to expand the Heroes campaign, but because Heroes campaign ended prior to this so low, it's just a little weird. It's fine. I'm not like, oh, it should have been, super duper easy content so that it's in line. But yeah, it's just odd.
It is. Let's talk about something else that is odd. Dark Dimension 3 out for a couple days. It's already been beaten. My goodness. Someone has a lot of Gear 14 characters on their hands.
Yes.
And probably has to spend a lot of cores. I saw Mobile Gamer's video. He probably estimated the guy had like 70 attempts all in all, based on the damage that he did or something like that. It's just
possibly
a lot of cores probably spent to get that run that quick.
I didn't really break down his run because
I think in his video, he was trying to figure out how many runs it would take, how many days it would take if you don't use refreshes, and he was looking at like the top damage numbers in each node and kind of going off at based on that.
It's making a lot of
time.
Yeah, but it's making a lot of bad assumptions too. Among other things, it's assuming that person knows how to play. So this is not to say like, oh, if you're a whale, you don't know how to play. Like, I know several whales who know how to play very well. But I know a large majority of whales, in particular, the really, really, really heavy spenders, tend to lean more of like, oh, if you're not beating it, just buy more offers and then you'll beat it.
I think there are whales like that. I think this guy, just based on the roster he used, that he got it built up that quickly with these good characters, I think he knew what he was doing.
This guy has... let's back up. This guy had every single character in the game but one at 7-star.
So you think I think based on his damage numbers and the other people's damage numbers, I think he did. I don't know.
The other thing is none of his characters are like below 80,000, I think. Everyone I saw was like 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. So the first thing is like he brought in like all 5, like I think the lowest character he brought in was like 5 red star. And a lot of them were 6s and some 7s. So part of it was just, he was probably planning on out-muscling it. But the other thing is, like, looking at his comp, this is the thing that drove me the most crazy. So I put out a video recently about the best characters taken in Dark Dimension 3. And a few people were leaving comments on that, like, why watch this video? We can just look at the teams that the Asian guy used and use those. And I'm like, I don't think you guys understand. He didn't have all the resources in the world and get to pick what he thought were the best teams. He just got ready the first 15 characters he could get ready and went in. So by no means was he like, all right, this is the comp, this is the strat, this is the most efficient way to do it. And that's how it's going to be for everyone. Like when I go in, I'm not going to be using the best team I possibly could be using. Yeah. Because that would take a lot longer than Like, if I were you, Valley, I would take your Ravager Stitcher in, because Ravager Stitcher takes very few of those mini uniques.
I saw that on your video. I was like,
he takes very few mini uniques.
But
so,
what am I going to use him in other than getting into that game mode? Nothing. He's not even going to do a lot of good in that game mode, I think.
Right, but the sooner that you get through that, the sooner you get a ton of gear tier 14 and higher red stars on other characters, and you will use that for stuff, and the sooner you can use all those resources, the sooner you can leverage.
I get your argument. I get your argument. It does make sense. I don't know if it's convinced me yet, but I understand what you're saying. The speed and getting in does matter. But
I'm not saying you have to do it. But anyway, my point was that looking at this guy's performance, this strikes me as a guy who has never really had to worry about playing something properly, because he's been able to just out-muscle everything. And like, this guy already had 15 characters at gear tier 14. So like, he doesn't have a tolerance for struggle. And then he's like, so I'll wipe 70 times, whatever. I'll just refresh him. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know the guy. It's possible he's a brilliant tactical player and he's a Marvel Strike Force strategic genius. I don't know. But I don't know that I would base a lot of my math on the assumption that he did everything right.
All right. Well, I mean,
he definitely didn't use the best teams.
It probably, you know, like you said, it's his first few runs through, you know, based on the teams that he had. So I don't know. Maybe he was awesome at it. Maybe he wasn't. And either way, let's talk about your video, because that is what I wanted to bring up next. And you talked about it a little bit. You mentioned some teams in there. Some easy to farm teams like the one with Ravager Stitcher, and some good teams that take a lot of this gear. My question for you is, what are you going to do personally? Are you going to just try to get in there as quick as possible? Are you going to go for best teams that have more long-term value? What is Khasino going to do with his roster?
So I tried to explain in the video like how to go about thinking about stuff like this in the future, so that you don't, you know, so I can make videos about things that I want to talk about instead of things that I feel like are a waste of a video.
The YouTube monetization strategy?
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was like I was getting these PMs every single day, 20 people asking me, and I was like, it's just easier if I just put out a video. The PMs will stop.
That was pretty self-explanatory.
And it's not that I don't want people coming to me and asking for my advice. Like, I'm very thankful that people actually trust and take my advice, and I'm glad I'm able to help people. But so like this question in particular, the most accurate answer to who should you take in is the very first characters that you can get geared up to go in that are not terrible and that have decent red stars. That's it.
Is that what you're gonna do? Just whoever is the first characters in each category? Okay.
Whoever's the first characters in each category, and I'm going to be intentionally avoiding the terrible ones. So like, I don't have high red stars on my Ravager Stitcher, so even though he might be the first one I could get ready, I'm intentionally going to avoid terrible characters.
You're going to keep that hand archer? You're going to keep hand archer, dude?
We'll see.
Okay.
Probably not, but possibly. I don't actually think Hand Archer was like one of the super cheap ones. I know he's cheaper than other options, but it's all a trade-off. So for me, it's like Hand Archer is a few less mini uniques, but you know, if I don't go with him, then I can go with some other mystic like Thor or something, and I have 5 red star on him, so you know, it makes more sense taking him. But yeah, mainly it's going to be whoever I can get ready the quickest that isn't terrible. I try to have some emphasis on high red star if possible, because the pattern in Dark Dimension 3 is every set of 4 nodes has all enemies at 4 red star, all enemies at 4 red star, all enemies at 5 red star, all enemies at 6 red star. And then it resets for the next section. So it keeps going 4, 4, 5, 6. And so I was listening in the background to like Mobile Gamer's video on, like how he was like, all right, this node's clearly pretty tough. And then, he'd like go on and they're like, now this seems to be like another one of the super tough nodes. It's like, they make it very clear. The 4th node in each section is the one that's going to be the biggest pain, and it's because all the enemies are 6 red star. Yeah. And I think that's why there were so many wipes by that guy on that run, is because once the characters had comparable red stars to his own,
yeah, then
any weaknesses in his play probably got exposed pretty quick. But Just my theory.
One more question about Dark Dimension 3. How big have you built your Shield Trooper?
Oh, he's gear tier 14. He's
ready. He's ready. Okay, cool.
He's way worth it, man. 0 mini uniques. Let's go.
I think that's the character I'm building up right now.
Yeah, and he's actually not that bad. Like, I've been a fan of him ever since the Shield Minion rework. I've been a fan of him. For a long time, he was like the core of... He was like the superstar of an Ultron War Defense I had for a long time. So I already had him gear tier 13. Even when like Trooper was like the one that you weren't really using on Fury Shield for a lot of game modes.
Yeah.
I was like, I already have all of Fury Shield so strong. I might as well give a lot of resources to someone else who easily slots onto that team in case I ever need to pull other people off that team for some reason. I didn't know it at the time, but I thought, in case I ever have to bring someone off, and like now that Medic can just go wherever Coulson goes for non-war, a spot opened up on that team. So I had geared him up to gear tier 13 a while back, and I was absolutely loving it, man. He lights people up.
I like him. He was on my original 5 shield. So.
Plus I
got a soft spot. He's got a soft spot in Valley's heart.
Plus he's modeled after the former art director.
Oh, so. You actually met Shield Trooper. I remember that.
I have. I met the real life Shield Trooper. I don't think he's with them anymore, but forever in my heart.
Yes. All right. Forever in your heart, maybe. I don't know. Toad coming to the game. We got a preview of his kit. No numbers here. We don't know his stats. We don't know the damage numbers on any of this stuff. What did you think of this kit, just from what we know right now?
Certainly looks interesting. A lot of opportunity for comboing, but it looks like it made the Brotherhood team a little bit more about their control effects, which I like because they already had some pretty good control effects. So yeah, adding to that is nice. I mean, debuff extension is amazing when you have multi-turn, disrupt, slow, blind, bleed. Like, you've got some good stuff to work with. So, and then like depending if you still run the Mystique version of the Brotherhood, then she can have someone on the enemy team get mind controlled and apply some kind of debuff. So like, just as an example, let's say like she mind controls Symbiote Spider-Man and he 2-turn defense down someone, and then Toad can extend that to like a 3-turn. You can get crazy quick. So
yeah, that special of his looks really, really good. It's like a mini Scarlet Witch special, right?
Yep, it's her ult, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Next thing that I want, Ant-Man and Wasp. They're coming back to the game. I think this is an awesome thing for newer players. What do you think of this event? What do you remember about this event? I honestly don't remember this very much.
I remember a little bit about it. So the thing was, this was the team up event. So they had a series of team up events. They stopped doing them, but there was Bendy Girl and the Witch. There was Ant-Man and Wasp. There was at least one other one. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they were experimenting with doing these for a while. And what I remember about them at the time was that the rewards were really, really good for the whales at that time. So if you like whaled out and got like 7-star Ant-Man and Wasp, I think it was like orange T formats back when they were like way rarer than they currently are. They were giving away like 100 or 150 or something for the final stage, and it was crazy. And like, no one was getting it done except for like a handful of people who just, paid through the nose for them. And so I think the main reason that people kept asking, like, hey, when is this event coming back, is because people finally got to the point where they could actually do the late stages. And we're like, so do I get a crack at those rewards, or was that a one-time thing for the whales? And like, I think it was originally a one-time thing for the whales, but it's easy for them to just flip the switch on an old event and kick it back on and be like, hey, new stuff going on.
So I don't remember. Is this one that you go through it once and you get the rewards and that's it?
Yes.
Is this one? Okay.
Yep.
So this is for newer players that haven't completed this yet. Like it. Everybody's gonna get those rewards. I'm pretty sure I didn't fully complete it. I think I still have the last couple of stages I didn't have a 7-star Wasp last time this event came around either. So I'll be getting that one. So,
but so what it is you can only use those 2 characters. Like you have to use your Ant-Man and Wasp, and that's it.
Got it.
And then their stage is designed around it. But if they haven't changed the content at all, that was pre-Red Star. So if they haven't rebalanced it, which I don't think they have, it's
I mean, if they're not going to rebalance the content unless you're going to rebalance the rewards also. So I don't think they're going to go.
Right.
Do that.
No,
Maybe.
they're probably
I don't know. Maybe.
They're probably just going to kick it back on. But the reason people never forgot about it was because those super top tier rewards were so good, and like nobody got them. So it just became a thing on Reddit. There were just always people like, whatever happened to that Ant-Man and Wasp event? Because now that they're actually ready, they're like, does that ever come back? And I don't think they were planning on it, but I'm not mad about it. I'll take it.
I like it's good. We got the new Heroes campaign. We got 2 new characters with that. They're in this blog post, they talk about villains and Nexus coming with most likely within the next 2 months. Probably going to have some characters with it. Do you want to give any new character predictions for these villains and Nexus campaigns? I guess maybe your wishes and then your predictions of who would actually think it will be.
Well, my wishes and my predictions line up.
Are the same. Okay, cool.
And it's gotta be the Asgardians, right?
The Guardians?
No, the Asgardians.
Oh, okay. Yes. For Black Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah. If they they can't have this Black Bolt event again without farmable Asgardians.
Yes,
if they do that,
yes, they can. They're just gonna make everybody mad.
I'll blow a gasket if they actually try that. And again, like I have a 6-star Black Bolt, so that would just put me in like the supreme seat of power. But that would be just such a move.
So you think Hela, Sif, Heimdall coming next month villains campaign? It would have to be in time for the April. I think it's supposed to be April, right? Black Bolt's coming back.
I have absolutely no way of knowing. This has nothing to do with any rumors I've heard or anything.
This is not a leak, guys. Turn your leak detectors off. I mean, they're scattered throughout the videos, but not in decision. Who do you think?
So I think they can only have 2 in the campaign. So I'm gonna say 2 of them go to campaign and maybe 1 goes to like War Store or something. But maybe they go to like Raid or Blitz. I'm just
War Store would be so.
That's just the rudest
slow.
one. So
Yeah.
Right, I'm just assuming they go with the rudest one. But
Blitz Store for Hela.
You wish.
I do.
They've been making an effort to listen to the players more. If they listen to the players, that's exactly what people are going to ask for.
Come on.
I'm all for it, but Hela's really good, and they know when someone's really good.
All right, but what are your predictions? What are your predictions? It. Is Hela going?
You want to specifically who where? Okay.
All right,
fine. Hela, War Store, and Heimdall and Sif in the villain campaign.
All right.
There you go.
Any predictions for Nexus? Is that when we get Supernatural or sometime later?
I could see Ghost Rider being for some reason, I don't know why. For some reason, Ghost Rider just screams like Arena Store to me. Not based on any particular reason. Just I don't know. Just as soon as I picture his face, I just feel like he's. I think they always surprise me with like putting decent characters in the Arena Store. So I don't know. I feel like he would be there. I actually took rank 1 in the arena earlier today from a guy with a 7 red star Ghost Rider.
Ooh.
Shout out to West Mantooth, dude. His Ghost Rider lit me up a couple times before I figured out how to fight him intelligently. That was rough. It was not a good time.
I think I played him. I didn't like that fight.
You can't, like, if you kill anyone before him, he punishes you pretty hard for it. But it's hard to kill anyone through he had a yo-yo too, so it's not fun. But
yo-yo makes arena defense very interesting. Not.
You mispronounced annoying. Like, I want to see the list. I've seen it before, but I don't have it in front of me. Like the list of unreleased characters. Generally, they try to look at who has gone the longest without being made available. So.
And they got the 2 longest out of the way: Colossus and Black Bolt.
You mean Black Widow, but
Black Widow.
So Black Widow, I think they consider. So here's my theory on both of those, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about these. So Black Widow, they intentionally made Premium Orb exclusive. It wasn't a matter of like, oh yeah, we keep forgetting to make her farmable. So they've always had 2 or 3 characters be Premium Orb. Right. And so what happens is eventually they boot whoever they feel is like the weakest Premium Orb exclusive character for when they want to put a new one in. So when they wanted to, I know right now it's Black Widow, Thanos, and who's the third? Minerva. So when they wanted to put Minerva in, they were like, all right, well, we're not going to have 4 Premium Orb exclusives. So they booted Nobu to a node. So now that they've booted Black Widow to a node, and it's just Thanos and Minerva, maybe
don't be Hela, please.
That would be messed up if they did that, and I can see them doing it. But so yeah, I think with that like that's why Black Widow's finally farmable. Is like she no longer justifies being Premium Orb exclusive, and then with Colossus, I think they tried something and it just failed spectacularly. That's what I would have loved to have been at the meeting where some jackass pitched the idea to make someone Mega Orb exclusive. I would have immediately laughed in that person's face. But yeah, I think they tried like Mega Orb exclusive Colossus. Like, you'll see if we put Colossus exclusive to the Mega Orbs, we're gonna sell way more Mega Orbs. And then the data was like, you guys are idiots. These odds are terrible. I know you guys have a history of selling.
We're not that dumb. We're not gonna buy all these Mega Orbs just for Colossus when it's like a less than 1%.
You almost can't blame them. They're like, look how many Red Star Orbs we sell, and those things have terrible odds. These guys will buy anything. But no, yeah, I think
we've shown you Fox next. We're not buying those Megas.
Yep. But yeah. So and Mega Orbs being like mostly available through deals, like far more than from any other source. It was awful. So I think they just had to accept like, all right, we made this really, really bad. And the thing too is like, it would be a little different. Like Minerva has a team, especially now with Ultimus, Minerva has a team.
Yeah.
But many people use Minerva independent of her team. Like she's so good that even if you don't have her team, it's fine.
Yeah.
Colossus is like a big part of the X-Men team. And like the complicated part of an X-Men team is Phoenix. Like that's the actual challenge. Once you have Phoenix, still not being able to properly use your X-Men team because the tank is rarer than she is, that's a mistake. This is a dumb move. I literally knew people who had 7-star Phoenix and couldn't get their Colossus above 3-star. I'm like, what? This is...
I feel very bad with my Colossus only at 4 stars, so I'm glad I'm gonna be taking him up to 5 in the next few days. But I guess let's move ahead. The big part of this blog post, brother. These Red Star update, the transparency in this. They're talking about addressing like 2 things. The 2 main things was the power curve, the ramp up into power, and RNG. Those are the 2 bad things mixed together that were the worst about this. They seem to be wanting to address both.
Yep.
What do you think of their solution for the proposed ramp up? It doesn't make any of the current Red Stars weaker.
Well, it does, but it doesn't. It gives the average player more power in their Red Stars. Like all the lower ones are worth more. It effectively in competitive modes, not for PvE, like for raid, for campaign, for all that, just everyone's gonna get stronger and have an easier time. But for things where players play against one another, it waters them down a little bit, and I still think it should be done. I'm not saying that like this is a reason they should do it differently. I fully support what they're doing with rebalancing them, and it's something that I have been calling for from the day they came out. I said this power curve is idiotic. But
I think this is similar to the power curve people were saying it should be when they first saw this. I mean,
I have videos over a year old saying, how about you try this power curve instead before it's too late and everyone gets stuck with the old crappy one. But yeah, I'm happy with that, but it does water down like the difference between a 4 Red Star and a 6 Red Star used to be 30%, and now it's only 25%. So little things like that, certain things got watered down a little bit. But overall, I think it's just way better for the health of the game. And now it makes it so that people with 4 and 5 Red Star, while still facing an uphill battle against 7 Red Star characters, it's not, just no hope, they're in a league of their own. don't even bother. You still like, with their resistance and my lower focus, like I'm rolling the dice here, but it's not like, you have a 1 in 20 chance of landing your debuff or whatever it is. So
yeah,
it's definitely
I
better.
like them. I like these proposed changes. I think they'll work out. Obviously, the blog post specifically says these are not final. We're currently testing them, so hopefully the testing goes well. The other thing they addressed in this was eliminating some of the RNG by giving out more promotion credits, the silver ones and the gold ones. What are your thoughts on some of these proposed changes in the blog post?
Again, that's more or less like, so if you go back to, I made a video, I want to say it was like maybe like 6 months in a red star, something like that. And I was like, these are all the same pain points that people were worried about having the day they came out. And here's my proposed solutions. And literally the two things that I recommended they do were change the power curve to almost exactly what they have. I think I did it like 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, but it was very similar. And then I was also saying, essentially, give us an item that allows us to promote a certain amount of people each month by choice. Like you can still have the random ones, but also built into the system, people need an option for working on who they want to work on. And maybe 1 or 2 good lucky ones might change who they want to work on based on what they already have. Maybe they'll have an opportunity to fill out majority of a team. But the biggest thing was players need more agency in the system. And so, they addressed the 2 major issues that there were for me. I still don't think red stars are, a perfect system, but yeah, at the end of the day, I don't see how anyone could be upset with more control. Yeah, more control over where their roster's going. Now for me, with those 2 things, assuming that they address both those things in a way that everyone's going to be happy with, for me now the only thing left for them to really take a look at is the amounts that people get back for duplicates. Someone showed me the other day, they only have 2 characters at 7 red star. They opened a normal red star orb and got a duplicate of one of their 7s, and that gave them enough for...
The odds are very bad against that actually happening. If all those
they
numbers are
they are. But so before I even tell you,
unlikely.
It is very unlikely.
Jeez.
But so before
the system was rigged. It's almost like the system was rigged.
Could be, but so before I even tell you what this person got back, what would you feel is fair, right? You just open a normal red star orb and you get 7 red star aim monstrosity. And you're like, son of a... What did the least you'll take?
Give me 5 of those golds. I'll be.
So you're like, all right, give me a 6.
I won't be happy, but I'll be less. Oh.
Yeah, give me a 6 of my choice at least.
Yeah.
Right. That's perfectly fair. What this person actually got and what it currently awards you, 2.5 Elite 4 orbs. Both of which were dupes.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. You could even say it's super duper.
It is super duper.
So
well, at least they're looking to change something, and you got to give them credit. It only took them a little over a year and a boycott to address some of these things. So yeah.
To their credit, they were going to address this anyway. But again, that was the main thing where they were like, all right, we've been meaning to do this, but this needs to be like what we're doing right now in front of us.
Yeah.
So that's good. In my opinion, that is like easily the biggest win of the boycott. And it was, of all the aspects of the boycott that I was hoping were a success, this one definitely. So that worked out.
I like this. I like the proposal. All right, let's move on. It's time for the Datamines, and unfortunately, not a lot of cool stuff in the Datamines this week. They look like they are having some offers added for reaching certain collection powers and strongest team powers. Looks like, I'm not sure what the offers are, but that's what this Datamine looks like to me. Not too exciting, and I think the most exciting thing here is this maintenance. 10 a.m. 2:20, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 2:20. It looks like it was changed from 2:19, so 2:20, the date according to the Datamines. What do you think of update coming in a couple days?
I I mean, so it lines up, like we got a mail like a week ago saying like Toad is coming soon.
Yeah.
And like obviously Toad is not in the current build. So, I was kind of expecting it around this time. So it makes sense. I feel like normally there's more buzz and more talk and more data mines or just in general more stuff that points to an update coming soon. Like this one feels kind of sprung on us, but it lines up. So
I think a lot of the buildup got used up by the damage. Used up by the damage control. I mean, some of the blog posts they said they were going to release it a week later, and they bumped it up a week. So I think a lot of their bandwidth went towards that, and that's why we didn't get a lot of lead up to this. A couple other interesting things in this. Now, most of these offers I think are just crap, but this is an offer. It features 100 shards of Carnage. Now, longtime players are going to have Carnage, but Graviton, Mr. Fantastic, Captain Marvel, not so bad. What do you think? What do you remember of prices of these kind of things in the past? And if someone is not still on the boycott, what do you think they should? Is this a good offer?
I think most people are not boycotting at the moment. There might be a few people who still are, but I don't know many people that still are. So you're asking like,
yeah, do you remember the price point of offers like this in the past? They've done things like this in the past.
They have, and I have a theory. So the one that keeps coming to mind for me is I'm pretty sure there was a $34.99 or a $29.99. It was either like 30 or 35 bucks, but I want to say that one was like 180 shard. It was like a guaranteed 4-star unlock, but some of the characters were more common characters. There was like 1 or 2 that would be really, really good to get, but it was like of a pool of 5 where they weren't all that rare. So I know this is only 100 shard, but because it seems to me that they're mainly choosing characters that have been very difficult to farm. Yeah. Like Carnage has been in the War Store and Graviton is now in the War Store, but War Store characters are notoriously hard to farm. Mr. Fantastic just got a node very recently, so I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say they're going to go for like 30, 35 bucks. I could see it being as high as 50, which I think would be ridiculous. And I could see it being as low as like 20, but I wouldn't expect it outside that range. Just my guess.
Cool. All right. And my favorite part of these news videos, it is time to see what leaks we could get around Khasino. I mean, no leaks. What rumors we could get from Khasino.
Yeah, we don't. I get in big trouble.
No leaks here.
I get in big trouble for leaking things. But I get no trouble for discussing rumors.
There's a lot of rumors out there. We've discussed some in the past. What can you talk to us about this week? I know you've heard about a lot of characters being released. I think most people know some of the characters this patch. What can you tell us on the rumor front?
This is the only thing I can say for this week. So I'd been saying for a while, like at this point, I'd heard of like 11 or 12 total characters coming over the next 2 patches or so, maybe 3 patches, and trying to sort out, who we should actually expect and when. So what I can say that I think is narrowed down a little bit is with this very next upcoming patch, I believe the latest rumors indicate we are getting 3 total characters.
Okay.
So
Toad, most likely Blob. He's mentioned in Toad's kit, or potentially moved on to another patch, and then another character. What are your predictions, guys? Who is coming in the game this patch in a couple days? And it only counts as a prediction if you leave it before the update actually drops, because there are timestamps on your comments, so we know.
Yeah, we'll know.
But hey, Khasino, thank you once again for joining me on this news update. It's always fun, always a pleasure.
Indeed.
Tell everybody where they can find you.
I am hiding out in twitch.tv/Khasino and youtube.com/Khasino, but I encourage everyone to just join my Discord server. Anyone can join, discord.gg/Khasino. We got blitz predictions, infographics, videos, data mines, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, come check it out.
Cool. Links are in the description, guys. And thank you once again for watching. If you did like this video, we do this every week. This is what, the 43rd, 45th, I don't know. It's on the thumbnail. We've done these a lot, and I want to thank all you guys for watching. I want to thank you for joining me once again, Khasino. Subscribe to the channel if you like these videos. Smash on the like button and join the notification squad. There is a podcast version of this, and I forgot to mention this beginning again, but there's timestamps. I know you've made it this long. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Check out some links that support the channel in the description, and I'm on social media. Hulk fist bump, baby. ValleyFlyin out.